great player too. I told him I had to emulate him in a scout in 1996 because we were playing them and I was the scout team point guard. Combined, the two of us averaged 1,500 points, but he scored 2,800 and I scored 12. And they're really, really talented. We played unbelievable in the first half. We were playing hard, we were rebounding, we were making shots, and they punched us in the mouth out of halftime. You know, they went on that unbelievable run. They're raining in threes. You can't let them get going in transition, and we let them get going in transition. Those guys start seeing it go in, and they can score 60 and a half. But our guys responded. We countered to their counter and won the game. John was sensational tonight. Not only just putting the ball in the basket, like he willed us to victory. His voice in the huddles, his leadership on the floor, and that's what veteran guys do. John prides himself on being a competitive dog, which is a term of endearment in basketball and in sports, and he was that for sure tonight.
You have a question?
Please raise your hand, and we'll get to you in the room. If you're on Zoom, please use the hand raise feature, and we'll get to you as well. We'll start in the room in front, Nick.
So you guys lost to Hofstra both times earlier this season. What did you just do different today?
Well, Aaron Estrada was averaging like 80 against us, so we knew we had to do some different things on the pick and roll coverage. Our guys executed it pretty well. You know, he's sensational. He just plays at such a slow pace, right? The game moves so slow to him. He can score off the pick and roll. He can distribute. You know, we said he's the head of the snake, and you got to cut off the head if you're gonna beat them. And you know, it's not a kid that you can totally stop, right? You got to try to contain him. But I thought we were much better in our pick and roll coverage for sure. And then it helped the ball went in. We shot it really, really well in the first half. But I think getting stops on the defensive end really ignited our transition game, which is what we do best.
What were you – oh, thank you. With that shot that you made with about 6 minutes left at and one, you got the crowd riled up and your teammates riled up too. Why was that such an important shot for you and your team?
I think it's more than just that one shot. We just got – string some stops together. We were able to. We got a couple bucks to go in, and then that helped us pull away at the end because they brought it close. Like Coach said, they started hitting threes, and they're dangerous when they start doing that. So when we were able to counter back, that was big time for us.
For both of you, what was it? What advantages did you have playing this team for the second time in a 6-day span?
Well, they say in sports, beating a good team 3 times in a season is difficult, and I think that's the case because I think we're a good team, right? I mean, they had the same tape to watch that we did. You know, we were coming off a tough stretch. It was the end of a 4-game stretch that we played 4 games in 7 days, but you know what? They were coming off the same type of crazy stretch too. And you know, like you always do, you pour over the tape and you try to find little adjustments that you can make, and we tried to do that. But you know, players make plays. Guys like John, you know, really stepped up. Our guys at winning time were you know, really special. And you know, I'm glad we don't have to see him again. I can tell you that because, like I said, preparing for those guards, as explosive as they are, gives me indigestion.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering, in that timeout when Hofstra ended up cutting it to 7, did you guys adjust anything, or was it just a matter of just everyone settling down?
What's great about having veteran leadership like John is I didn't have to say much in that huddle. You know, John's a very, very mature kid, but he's very prideful and emotional at times, which I love. You know, I kind of have some of that in me. You know, and he was upset. He thought he got fouled and kind of said something to the official. And, you know, he was, and I looked at him, he looked at me, and he goes, I got you. And it showed growth on his part because he walked out there and tapped the official. He goes, you're right. You know, I got to keep my cool. I was proud of him when he did that. But then, you know, OC and Tuck, Brendan Tucker were in the huddle, and they're arguing about the last ball screen coverage. And John Meeks goes, that's it, no more. You know, and as crazy and as corny as it sounds, like, he's like, tell him you love him. They looked at him like, well, what the crap are you talking about? He's like, hey, Os, I love you. All right, we're good. Next play. So it was those guys. It was leadership, right? When the stakes are the highest, right? We say when the E's are the biggest, the response has got to be the best. And it was hot at that time. They were on an unbelievable run. And having veteran leadership like John and Demetrius and OC and Tuck, those guys really, really help in those situations. Because we got a bunch of babies in that huddle too. There's a bunch of freshmen that are wet behind the ears that never been in these situations before, but guys like this have, which is a luxury.
Going to go to the Zoom. Jeff Hartzell and then Jerry Beach. Just make sure to speak loudly on the Zoom, please. Thank you.
Hey, John, what was your message to the guys at that point in the game after they cut it to 7?
It was just to stick together. We started, like Coach said, dudes started getting a little hot. There was a lot on the line. But at this point in time, we didn't need any of that. We just need to come together more. The power of the unit is really serious. We were able to do that and then extend our lead.
And Pat, tomorrow night you face another team that I think you lost to twice during the season. What can you take from this game to apply tomorrow night?
Well, to win in tournament play and then to advance, you got to have great resolve, right? You got to have mental and physical toughness to be able to recover quickly and prep quickly and get ready for the next one. And, just like I have such respect for Speedy, Takeo's an amazing coach and has done an unbelievable job with that team. And they've been a nightmare to prepare for and to defend as well. Like Hofstra, they're a team that turns people over, right? They generate offense through their defense. I don't know what our turnover total ended up. In the first half, it was amazing. We had 5 turnovers in the first half.
We hit our goal.
Yeah, so we had 28 turnovers against these guys the other day, 28. And it was a one-possession game with a minute to play, and we said we need to be at 13 or less, and there we are, 13 or less, which is good. And UNCW is as good or better at doing that. So we can't get empty possessions against those guys, and they have explosive scores all over the floor. So similar teams in terms of their explosiveness on the perimeter. We got to be ready.
And finally, Pat, you changed up your starting lineup a little bit. Just a couple seconds on your thinking there.
Just because. I don't know. No real reason.
We have 14 dudes that could start.
There you go.
There you go. Thanks, guys.
We say in practice, like, it doesn't matter if it's February, we compete in February. It doesn't matter if it's March, we compete in March in practice. And guys are trying to earn jobs and increase their minutes every single day. We don't like to let our foot off the accelerator. So I'm more concerned with who finishes the game than who starts it.
Jerry?
Hey guys, I hope you can hear me okay. For both of you, how much of the last few weeks were about managing John's minutes and trying to make sure you had a night like this, kind of build towards a night like this in the tournament?
I mean, we didn't, to be honest with you. I mean, we were coming off a 4-game stretch in 7 days in 4 different cities. I had to take pictures of my hotel room number because I forgot which room I was in all the time. And we just decided, John, because, and he has input on this. Like, that game, in a sense, didn't really have a lot of significance because the seeding was already done when we played Hofstra in that 4th. And there was discussions with the coaching staff, like, should we limit D-Meat's minutes? He's played 1 million minutes this year. Should we limit John's? And John's like, kidding me? Lights are on. We're putting uniforms on. Freaking playing. And those are the type of guys that we want in Charleston uniforms. So he'll get a lot of sleep tonight. He's a guy that really takes care of his body. He has a pro approach. I mean, he's in the Normatec machines all the time. He's in the cold tub. He eats the right way. And that's the legacy he's going to leave, is the example guys like him set for these freshmen as we begin to grow this program.
In back?
John, you had single-digit points in your first 2 meetings with Hofstra and then 31 tonight. What felt different tonight?
The ball was going in. That sounds as simple as that, but it was a lot of preparation, a lot of watching film to see how they were guarding me, what they were doing, and then what I was able to come out and do tonight worked.
Jaden?
Pat, you talked about needing to cut down the turnovers after Monday night. You go from 28 to 13. How much of a point of emphasis was that, seeing how Hofstra got on you in transition, and what did you stress in particular in terms of your aggressiveness and your point of attack?
Yeah, that was everything. I mean, it was a huge, huge, huge part that we couldn't allow them to create offense through their defense. And, you know, Demetrius, I give him a ton of credit, the way he's assumed the point guard position when he's never played that throughout the course of his career. Now he's a guy, if you look at his statistics, I don't know what it all is, but there's never been a player in Charleston history that's averaged his amount of points, his amount of rebounds, his amount of steals, and his amount of assists, ever, right? He's been sensational for us, but he's the closest thing really we got to a true point guard besides, you know, Nikita, who's a freshman that just got off the airplane a couple months ago. He came in at Christmas time. So we're kind of point guard by committee, right? And we need everybody to be playmakers. We need everybody to have great ball security on every single catch. And we did that tonight. We're going to have to do it tomorrow against a team that's trying to take your ball when we get off the bus.
Aaron, last one.
Coach, obviously you've had success in March, obviously coming off last year and the year before that, winning the Big South. Obviously different league now, but what have you kind of tried to share to them as far as, you know, your experiences, you know, the past couple of years?
Yeah, man, I just told them, you know, we're real regimented in how we go about our business, right? We're very systematic in what we do and how we scout and how we prepare and what, you know, the way we travel and everything. And we say you don't do anything different. Right? We've got a little bit shorter time frame between games, but these guys go back, get off their feet, rest, and we'll do the same regimen of personnel in the morning, and then we'll get back together and go through actions, and then we'll do walk through a baseline out of bounds before we leave, and then we'll go to the game. Our warm-up will be just a consistent approach to what we do, and we try to be consistent in all facets of our program. That's what we'll do.
All right, thanks, guys. Statement from Coach Claxton.
Tough way to end our season, man. You know, hats off to Charleston. They played great. Thought we didn't play the way we needed to play in the first half. Obviously, in the second half, that's Hofstra basketball right there. But can't spot a team 20 points and expect to win the game. And they just kind of out-toughed us. And that was the number one key coming into the game for us. We knew that the tougher team would win, and they were the tougher team tonight.
Questions?
Speedy, they said that, well, actually after the last game, in last meeting you guys had, Aaron said that he expected a different approach toward him because he had the 28 and the 30 against him the first two meetings. They said that they had a different approach with him in pick and roll coverage tonight. Did you see anything with that?
Nah, I didn't see anything different. I thought he got the shots that he always gets. Unfortunately, tonight he just didn't make them. But you know, he might have forced a couple of them. I thought he missed a couple of guys, but he tried to play through it. But we just fell short tonight.
Coach, you mentioned just the lack of toughness tonight, and just kind of speaking to you earlier in the year after the Charleston game, it was something that kind of has been a theme for you guys this season. I mean, what do you think kind of winning that tonight, and how can you guys kind of remedy that going forward?
You hit the nail on the head. That is the common theme for us. Games that we lost this year, we weren't the tougher team, and I try to tell the kids that this game honors toughness, and when you're tough out there, most of the time you're going to be in the ball game and put yourself in a position to win. And when you're not, you can't win. You got to be tough.
Jalen, for you, post-game Coach Curtin called you a legend of this program. What would you say this program means to you after 5 years?
It means everything, you know. Coming out of high school, I didn't have that many chances. And, you know, Hofstra took a chance with me, and I'm just grateful for everything they've given me.
Coach, John Meeks had single digits in the last time you guys played Charleston. This time, obviously, you had a great first half, but you guys were able to slow him down coming out halftime. What did you tell your guys, and how did you change things up to slow him down?
He's a really good player. He's a tough guard. He could kill you in a number of ways, and I think he definitely did that tonight. You know, it really didn't matter which way we tried to play him. He took advantage of us, whether it was inside, outside. We definitely had our hands full with him, but he's a hell of a player. You know, he kind of started them off right from the start and kind of established himself.
To the Zoom and Jerry.
Hey guys, hope you can hear me. Two questions. One for Jalen. Those first few minutes there, were you guys kind of stunned? I think they went out 7-0, and obviously I think they stayed in the lead the rest of the way. Did it feel like it was sort of going downhill right away for you guys? I have a follow-up.
They got out to a good start, but they just started with toughness, and you took the lead in the beginning of the game, so we played from coming from behind. That's tough to do, especially circumstances like this.
And Speedy, as a guy who's gotten to the championship game and beyond before, what's your message for the guys come back after this year in that locker room and going forward about what it takes to get beyond this point and the Tuesday night?
It's gonna be about toughness. Every game we're gonna have to be tougher, and it's gonna start when we select a new strength and conditioning coach here. But kids gotta be tough, man. This game honors toughness, like I said.
Speedy, to follow up on Jalen's comments of what the past 5 years meant to him, how much have you seen him grow from when he was recruited, arrived, to where he is now? And to follow that up, how do you go about replacing him and building the year two off a strong first season?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a hard replacement. Just like Coach Collins said, he's a legend. He got better each and every year, and I think he had great leadership that was ahead of him and kind of paved the way and showed him what it means to be a Hofstra basketball player. But I'm sorry that we couldn't win it for him in his last year. There's no better way to go out than on top. But the kid had a great career. He'll forever be in the history books here, and we'll miss him.
David, last one.
Yeah, Coach, you told us the other day on the conference call you didn't really like the scenario of playing a team again. Just kind of what was your thinking about that, looking ahead to playing them?
Yeah, I mean that's why I didn't like playing that game back to back, because this generation tend to relax when they beat a team, and we beat them twice this season. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. And I think they came out and just they took it to us and punched us in the mouth from the start. And I don't know, our kids might not have been ready.